Hello, fellow Voyagers. Jess here with Odyssey Human, here today to talk about how to transform burnout into crazy longevity in any area of your life. So welcome to the channel. This is the place where we help you hack through the jungles of consciousness so that you can discover the hidden treasures inside of you. My friends, everything you need is there. You already have everything you need. It's just waiting to be activated by you. So if that sounds good, please subscribe. We'd love to have you on the channel. And today we're talking about some mindset tips because in addition to talking about manifestation, imagination, reality creation, I also, at my core, I'm a very practical person. And I think, this also includes a lot of cognitive habit and mindset in all of this together because it's all, what is the quality of our experience that we're having? Is it a high quality or a low quality? Are we happy? Are we sad? I really think all of these tools and perspectives and approaches have value. And so today I really want to hammer it home on a practical level because I am a NLP master practitioner, which is neuro-linguistic programming. If you've never heard of that modality, it's one of the most powerful things I've ever learned. And I want to give you kind of a slice of it today when we talk about burnout. Burnout is a term that I hear constantly in the circles that I frequent for my business, mental health, behavioral health, and burnout, is a really fun term to throw around. It's a really crappy place to feel like you are. I have been there, and I want to shed some light on it today because when I started to have these realizations, when I first learned NLP, it shifted my perspectives enough to where I really established longevity in my life where I had none. Longevity was a thing that really escaped me. I was only able to continue doing, before I learned NLP, to continue doing things that I really loved, that I really, really loved. And we're going to talk about this today and how, burnout just means your perspective has finished. You cannot assume that perspective anymore, right? Because it has brought you to a place of looking at a situation, looking at a relationship, looking at something in your environment that you have this kind of give and take with, that that perspective isn't serving you anymore, right? It's brought you to a place where you feel crappy, tired, you just can't go on anymore, you can't do it. And this was commonly when back in the day, early in my business, my audience was different and I was helping people one-on-one and I was helping them through this channel. I was mostly helping people who identified as highly sensitive. And so burnout was like the hot topic, and it's still the hot topic. People are still talking about burnout. It's still mentioned in magazine articles and news articles and as a real thing. We personify it as if it's a real thing, but what it is just, it's a perspective that has expired. It's gone sour. It is growing mold. And to stay in that place means that we have to use what we've learned from reality creation. We have to use these mindset, these cognitive skills to move. It's time to move. Burnout means you just got to move. It's time to move. And because you can't stay you can't stay there anymore. You can feel it. It's a physical sensation of, I can't do this anymore. And what happens is that people translate it into the situation that they are in, right? The job, the relationship, the whatever, the situation, and they end up quitting that, right? They end up leaving. They end up quitting. They end up thinking that that is the easy fix for the burnout. But what happens is that burnout is a cognitive habit. Arriving in a place of burnout is a cognitive habit. I was definitely one who burned out of things very quickly. I would quit things very quickly until I had these realizations that I'm going to share with you today. So, burnout is betrayal. So I want us to think about, any relationship that we have. And this, I don't mean like human to human relationship. I mean, right? You have a relationship with everything. You have a relationship with your sofa, right? You sit on it. It provides you comfort. Whoops. We have relationships with physical objects, with situations like jobs, or, you have a relationship with it. It's a give and it takes situation, right? And we have expectations of what we're going to receive and then what we're going to give to get the things that we're expecting to receive. And so burnout is betrayal. Burnout, if you're feeling burnout, if you felt burnout in the past, it's because there was some sense of betrayal. Where you were in that mindset, that perspective, that mindset, you were feeling like, I've given all this stuff, but I am not getting back the quality or quantity of what I was anticipating, whether that be love, affection, financial compensation, ease. Sometimes it's just like, this is just too hard. I expected this to be easier. And sometimes, whether or not you're in a situation that you can leave right now or you cannot, just remember that sense of betrayal is from, right, the stories we're telling and the attention that we're giving it, right? These two faculties stay the same, whether we're manifesting, whether we're overcoming burnout, whether we're dealing with whatever we want to deal with in our lives. Our story and our attention are our two core faculties, and then what we do habitually with them. So burnout is betrayal. We're telling a story of betrayal, right? I work too hard. This job isn't worth it. Or, I put 30 years into this marriage and he cheated on me or she cheated on me. And you feel betrayal. You're burned out because you're betrayed. You're betrayed. You were not expecting to get what you got, what you're getting. And so what do we do? How do we transform this? I was talking to my business coach yesterday. She's a brilliant woman, and I have interacted with her for a long time, when I first started my business until now, which has been about the span of 5 years. And she was reminding me about this channel and what I initially felt about my YouTube channel. I was really intimidated by starting this channel, of putting myself out there, of talking about concepts that I didn't feel like I was living up to at the time. And she kind of reminded me about it, and I had totally forgotten that perspective. I love this channel. As you notice, I don't really sell anything on this channel. I don't promote anything on this channel, except I just share my good tips and advice and things, insights that I've learned. I'm just here to share with you. And she was also talking about, considering every relationship as a dating relationship. You're dating. When you're networking, you're dating. When you're starting a new job, you're dating. When you're in a job, you're dating. You're dating that other entity, right? It is a relationship where there is an exchange. Just like I was talking about, there's a give and take. You're anticipating things back. And so we forget at the beginning, we jump into these new relationships or these new activities or these new situations. We're often looking for that instant gratification. Well, I want to get this immediately. I start a YouTube channel. I want 100,000 subscribers tomorrow. Or, I want to start at this job and I want everyone to respect me immediately. But really, it's more of a slow burn. Most things in life are a slow burn, I find. And the nuance of a dating relationship, you're dating it, right? When you get to know people, you're dating. New friends, you're dating. You're dating. Like, come at it from a perspective of you're dating. There's a dance, there's some courtship, there is a long-term game being played here. And if you want longevity, looking at it like that, framing it like that, like, okay, this is dating. Dating takes time. You're building trust, you're building habits, you're building the relationship, you're building the outcomes, you're building it to get to a place where you're going to get back what you're putting in, but often it takes in the beginning, continuing to put in. So if you've reached a place of, let's circle back to burnout. If you've reached a place of burnout where you feel betrayed, this is what you can do. And you've been in this relationship for a while and oof, it's really just, it's run its course. I would encourage you to, what are you expecting that you didn't get? What were you looking for that you didn't get from this relationship, from the situation, from the job, from the person, from whoever? What did you not get yet? Or what were you hoping for that you haven't received? And give it to yourself. Give it to yourself. It's not that quality or that thing or, respect, admiration, love, loyalty, whatever you didn't get. It's not that it doesn't exist, because everything you experience is inside of you. You experience from the inside out. So it's there, that quantity, the quality, the tangible element that you are really craving from that situation. Quit abandoning yourself and give it to yourself. Quit abandoning the job to the thing, the relationship. You're looking for it from them. Quit looking for it from them. Turn it back to you. Give it to yourself. That's the first thing you do when you feel burnout. It's like, I wanted respect from that. You know what? I'm going to respect myself right now. I'm going to respect myself right now. I'm going to give myself all the respect and admiration and appreciation that I frickin' deserve right now. You're like a sponge. Give that to yourself. Just soak yourself in that, right? Look for it in all the other outlets that you have in your life, right? Tell the story of, I am respected. And these are all the other areas where I am respected, and look for them and soak it in. Give it to yourself. Feel the respect, feel the appreciation, because you are all of these qualities, again, that we abandon the job of providing this thing, the respect, the love, the loyalty, the, financial compensation, the fame, whatever it is, we abandon the job to something outside of us. But really, there is nothing outside of us. There's nothing outside of us. That is the illusion. So give it to yourself. Step 1, give it to yourself. Step 2, if you cannot leave this situation, if you really perceive like, I still got to go to this job, or I still got to be in this marriage, or whatever situation you're in where you're feeling burnout, once you've given that thing that you're craving so bad from this to yourself, give it tenfold, give it to yourself. So that it doesn't even matter if you don't get it from that space anymore. Because you're satisfying the need through yourself. Because really all of these stories, all these experiences are ourselves. Awareness is experience. So it's in your awareness. Like I said, it already exists. It's there. You have it. You are respect. You are love. You are loyalty. You are fame. You are recognition. You are all these things. You're all these things already. So give it to yourself. Step 2, and then reconnect with what you love. Reconnect with what you love about this relationship. Let's go back to the YouTube channel, this channel, right? When I first started the YouTube channel, I was worried about what people would think about me. I was worried that how am I qualified to talk about this stuff? I was worried that I'm not getting subscribers fast enough, and I was focusing so much on that. I was worried about how am I going to come up with things to talk about twice a week? Because at that time I was recording twice a week. That was a lot. It was a lot to come up with content. It was a lot to get on here and talk. Then I connected with what I loved. And you know what I love? I love being in front of an audience. I always have. I've always, from being a small child, been an attention hog. I love being in front of people. I was a tour guide for a while. I loved telling stories in front of a group. I loved captivating them. I loved acting, partially acting it out. I love being in school plays. I loved being on stage. I was the Tin Woman in The Wizard of Oz in 6th grade. I just love being the center of attention. I love being seen. That part of me is never going to go away. That aspect of me is never going to go away. And so when I reframed this channel into that's why I've had crazy longevity. That's why I continue recording content. That's why I don't care whether I sell anything or not, or I do coaching or not, or, I connected with the piece of it that I loved, right? And that is how I really started in my life to make shifts into being someone who has longevity in all of the areas of my life, like where I'm living, in my relationships. Like I'm not a quitter anymore. Like I don't quit instantly because I've reached that burnout perspective and then pieced out and then have it repeat again, because it's a cognitive habit. Burning out on things a lot is a cognitive habit because we're continuing to assume kind of sour, spoiled eggs perspective. Burnout is a bad perspective. Don't stay in it. You got to shift it. So give yourself what you need and then connect with what you love. It seems like very cliche advice, but doing this, knowing it and doing it are two separate things. So I encourage you to do it. This is the same with my business. I have been doing my business for a while. I've had to pivot multiple times. I've had to continue to iterate because it hasn't hit the mark yet. And when we have these long-term projects, again, it's like dating. It's a long-term game. I've worked with coaches and I continue to try and hit it big, right? That's what we all want. When we start a business, we hit it big. Or when we start a YouTube channel, we want tons of subscribers. Or when we meet someone that we love, we want this to be the love of our life, the absolute end game love of our life. Or when we find the dream job, we want it to be, that's it. We're there for life. And so look for what you love in this relationship. What do you love about it? For me in the channel, it was just being in front of the camera, just knowing people are watching and they're listening. Like, I love that. I love that. And I'm never going to stop loving that. That's just who I am. So what is one element that you love about this thing that you're burned out about? What do you love? Reconnect with that love, because that is what longevity is. That will take you farther than any other extrinsic motivation, right? Money, respect, material things, whatever is outside of you that you think you're striving for. That element of loving it. I love this channel, so I keep doing it. I love my business, so I keep doing it. I love, there's even the thing about this apartment is there's one really major thing that I hate about this apartment, and it has made me crazy. It's made me crazy at times because I live over a garage. And that has really been a thorn in my side at certain points. But at some point, I realized in order to have longevity of living here, I have to not focus on that part that's burning me out, the thing that I perceive that I'm not getting, which is a quiet space sometimes, early in the morning. That quiet space early in the morning, I have to focus on, what do I really love? What do I really, really love? I love that it's quiet 23 and, 23.75 hours of the day. It's only that few minutes when the garage doors opening and closing that it drives me insane. But if I made that my focus, I would have burned down and left. Instead, I make my focus on the quiet. It's quiet right now. It's beautiful. It's wonderfully quiet right now. So what do you love about it? Connect with that. And that'll take you farther than you've ever known. Connect with that. Find what you love. So there you go. Transforming burnout into crazy longevity in any area of your life. What are you expecting that you haven't given yourself? Give it to yourself and then reconnect with the one element that you can find about it to love and really dive into it. Talk about networking. Let's say you're like, oh, I have to go out and network, or, talking to people, it wears me out, it exhausts me, yada, yada, yada. What do you love about meeting new people? Like, it's fun. To me, it's fun. It's like, ooh, I get to find out someone's story. I get to know what shared interests we have. I get to potentially make a new friend or a new business acquaintance or a new business partner or whatever. There's so much potential in it. I love that. It's like an Easter egg hunt, networking. So, do you see how I did this? You see how meeting people could burn you out and then you transform it into crazy longevity and you tap into that, like dive deep into that love. That love will carry you across marathons to the finish line years out in the future. So let me know what you thought. Drop a comment below. I love engaging with you. I respond to everybody that drops a comment. And if you need a tool to start transforming your mental space, developing better cognitive habits, grab the one I have below. It is my core tool. And use it and let me know. I'm here. I'm here to interact with you. So thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye.